Manny, are you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, it just showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
We're here in Manila with the great legendary champion Manny Pacquiao, Sean Gibbons, and Manny.
Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have just completed their first face-off ahead of their highly anticipated fight this July. With exactly 50 days remaining until the event, 46-year-old Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao is set to make his return to the ring to face WBC welterweight contender Mario Barrios. While the significant age gap may lead some to view the matchup as a mismatch, their recent face-off suggested otherwise. This is far more than just a younger fighter taking on an aging legend.
It was like, when I was growing up, he was always a fighter I was studying, I was always watching. It was always one of my favorites. It was so fucking just so technical, even when he was in danger.
The face-off captured more than just two fighters squaring off. It symbolized a clash between legacy and youth. Manny Pacquiao stood tall, carrying decades of boxing greatness, while a younger Mario Barrios radiated with hunger and energy. Pacquiao's return to the ring is stirring mixed emotions among boxing fans. While many are thrilled to see the beloved icon emerge from retirement, others are concerned. At 46, facing a high-caliber opponent like Barrios could be a risky move. Time waits for no fighter. Pacquiao's reflexes have likely dulled. His agility faded, and his prime years are undeniably behind him. For some, the thought of him stepping back into the ring isn't just emotional, it's unsettling.
But it's good. Good experience. We gave a good action fight to the fans.
Interestingly, the familiar sounds of the Wild Card Boxing Club have returned. The thunderous thwacks of fists slamming into heavy bags, the sharp grunts of a fighter pushing his body to the edge. Manny Pacquiao, the only 8-division world champion in boxing history and a soon-to-be International Hall of Famer, is officially back. At 46, he's once again aiming for welterweight glory. I'm still excited for it, and I'm enjoying all the training. Pacquiao, now 62 kilograms, told Boxing Scene. I still have the passion like before, so I'm excited. I don't have to worry about that. Pacquiao moved on swiftly after his May 12th loss in the Philippine Senate elections, and has now committed to a major comeback fight. On August 2nd, he'll face WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios, 30, of San Antonio. Though confident, Pacquiao is under no illusions. I'm confident I'll win the fight, he said. But I'm not taking it lightly, and I'm not underestimating him. I have to punish myself, just like I did before in training. Guided once again by Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, Pacquiao has returned to the grueling conditioning that made him, along with Floyd Mayweather, one of the defining fighters of the 21st century. He insists this rigorous preparation will bring out a far better version of himself than fans saw in the 2 exhibition bouts he fought, following his 2021 title fight loss to Yordenis Ugas. I only trained for 1 week for those exhibitions, Pacquiao admitted. This time, they can expect a good Manny Pacquiao. I know the fans are excited to see me again, and I'll do my best. That's why I'm putting in the hard work. Just like I did before, grinding in the gym every day. I'm here to put on a good fight. I won't let the fans down. Adding to his motivation this week are the world title victories of 2 fighters under his promotional banner. Mexico's super flyweight Wilibaldo Garcia and Filipino minimum weight Pedro Taduran. I'm excited and happy for them, Pacquiao said. It makes me proud that I can help others reach the same goals I once dreamed of.
10 seconds!
But you know, you have a mentality nobody has. Kids today just want to get paid. They don't want to fight the best. They don't want to challenge themselves.
No, the payment or the earning, everything like that is that's the fruits of your labor. I mean, the fruits of your hard work, sacrifices. If you don't want sacrifices, then how can you harvest?
There's a famous saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Defeating Barrios would mark Manny Pacquiao's 13th career welterweight title victory, a remarkable milestone that traces back to 2009, when he first captured the WBO belt with a 12th round TKO of Hall of Famer Miguel Cotto. That moment, the feeling of championship glory, has been on Pacquiao's mind a lot in recent weeks. Coming back means a lot, he said, and I've asked the Lord for this opportunity. If successful, Pacquiao would reclaim a world title at the second oldest age in boxing history, a feat some believe he's still capable of. Among them is newly crowned WBA secondary welterweight champion Rolando Rolly Romero, who has already expressed interest in a showdown with Pacquiao should he defeat Barrios. But Pacquiao remains focused. Would I fight again after Barrios? I don't know, he said. One fight at a time. I need to focus on this one.
It's good, but I put the video up and all the comments were, thank you for saving boxing. Boxing needed you, man. They're happy. It's not the same without you. It's not as exciting.
You know, I'm so happy because not all of the boxers like me, and giving me strength and physical strength, like physical condition like me. Especially on my side.
This isn't exactly the kind of prediction Pacquiao fans were hoping for. The reality is, many of Mario Barrios' most notable victories haven't stood out as definitive, especially when compared to what others have done against the same opponents. He was the first of 3 to narrowly outpoint Olympian Batir Akhmedov, and just one of 4 to get the better of Fabian Maidana. He faced Yordenis Ugas 2 years after the Cuban dismantled a fading Pacquiao, and a full year after Errol Spence Jr. had already knocked Ugas out. Promoters and pundits may try to frame Barrios' resume more favorably, highlighting his most recent bout, a controversial draw with Abel Ramos. But context matters. Ramos had lost 3 of his last 5 fights, and the fact that he dropped Barrios and pushed him to a stalemate raised more questions than it answered. Cynics, and perhaps some honest analysts, might even argue that Ramos did less to earn a title shot than Pacquiao, who, despite his age, remains a far more proven and legendary figure in the sport.
I've been in boxing for so long, and I'm still here, kicking, healthy. That's God's goodness. I mean, I always praise the Lord.
Manny, for all the fans and
Whatever
media,
happens, I always praise the Lord for everything's happened in my life, because everything's happened in my life for a purpose, and the Lord my God is good always.
Well, it's a true story. The way you started, very humble beginnings.
Feats like this aren't without precedent. The example most often cited is George Foreman, who famously won the heavyweight championship at age 45. But anyone comparing Foreman to Pacquiao overlooks a key detail. Foreman had been active in the ring for 7 years, leading up to his knockout of Michael Moorer. His comeback included 31 fights, with 3 of those being world title bouts. Another common reference is Bernard Hopkins, the only man to hold a world title at an age older than Pacquiao's current 46. Hopkins ruled as the WBA and IBF light heavyweight champion at age 49, 3 years Pacquiao's senior. However, unlike Pacquiao, Hopkins never took an extended break from the sport. He was a late bloomer who peaked later in his career, rather than a fighter who retired and then returned. After years away,
That's living on a cardboard, no bed, to the cover of Time magazine. How many people could say that? It's a crazy. It's like 10 different movies.
Can you imagine sleeping in the street, like in the cartoon, and sometimes you eat, sometimes none. You have food, like, you know, amazingly what I have done, what I have accomplished in life. It's because of God's goodness, mercy, and blessings. And it's not because of my.
Barrios may not be the best world champion in boxing, or even in his division, but he's a 29-year-old fighter who has stayed busy, competing 5 times since Pacquiao last stepped into a professional ring. Admittedly, the 2 toughest opponents he's faced have gotten the better of him. Gervonta Tank Davis stopped him in 11 rounds, while Keith Thurman outpointed him over 12. Still, Barrios has gained valuable top-level experience and remains in his physical prime. And honestly, you don't need to be a world-class fighter to beat a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. In his recent exhibition, Manny looked like his body struggled to summon the sharp reflexes his legendary boxing IQ demands. Barrios stood 6 feet. Tall, the largest opponent Pacquiao has ever faced. But it wasn't so much what Barrios did that made the fight difficult. It was what Pacquiao didn't do. His lack of timing and sharpness made the exhibition uncomfortable to watch for many fans.
My ability or strength or knowledge, it's because of God's mercy and strength.
No, at one time you told me they used to live in the gym and you had 1 bag of rice for everybody in the gym. How can you box with no nutrition?
That's right.
But you did it.
I did it because my mind is always focused on ahead. Like, I always think advance.
The version of Manny Pacquiao who lost to Yordenis Ugas had already lost a step. This current iteration seems to have lost a mile. Pacquiao announced his retirement from professional boxing shortly after that 2021 defeat to the former WBA welterweight champion. Since then, the Filipino superstar has participated in 2 exhibition bouts. His first opponent, DKU, a martial arts influencer, posed little challenge. But in his second exhibition under boxing rules, against professional K1 kickboxer Rukia Ampo, Pacquiao looked noticeably old and slow. In a recent interview with Sporting News Australia, Errol Crawford was asked if he believes Pacquiao can defy the odds and reclaim a world championship. Crawford's response? Initially just 2 words. 50-50.
It's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, you know, try his best. That's what Manny. One thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all.
Barrios presents a great challenge for Manny Pacquiao. At this stage in Manny's career, the fight is essentially a 50-50 matchup. If Pacquiao manages to defeat Barrios, he will become the oldest world welterweight champion in history, breaking the record he set himself when he won the WBA welterweight title against Keith Thurman in 2019 at the age of 40. It has also been confirmed that Pacquiao has reunited with legendary trainer Freddie Roach, who coached him for 34 fights over 16 years before their split in 2018. With Pacquiao preparing for his comeback at age 46 this July against Barrios, few are better positioned than Khan to analyze and predict the outcome of the fight.
Rumour going around this week that Manny Pacquiao is going to return. What do you make of that?
I don't know. We shall see. I don't know.
Do you think he's too old at 46 to fight Barrios?
I can't say if he's too old or not. You know, if he get in there and win, then everybody will be saying different. So I don't put no limit on an all-time great like Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao faces the monumental challenge of fighting for a world title against WBC welterweight champion Barrios on July 19th. One person who knows both fighters well is British boxing legend Amir Khan. Khan, a silver medalist at the 2004 Olympics, held the WBA Super and IBF light welterweight titles during his celebrated career. As a former Olympic medalist and WBC lightweight champion, Khan trained and sparred with Pacquiao back in 2008. He has also sparred with Barrios, giving him unique insight into both fighters. This made his recent comments about the upcoming bout particularly interesting during an interview with Sky Sports.
Any thoughts on that fight with Mario Barrios, and is there any chance we see you still in there at 46?
Nah, at 46, I don't plan on being back in the ring, you know, but Mario Barrios is a great matchup for Manny Pacquiao. And I think, you know, at this age, it's a 50-50 fight for Manny Pacquiao.
He said his sparring sessions with Pacquiao were both highly competitive and an honor. Khan spent a significant amount of time in the ring with Pacquiao, reportedly over 300 rounds. At one point, they were even scheduled to fight each other. Despite having shared so many rounds with Pacquiao, Bolton's Khan believes the challenge ahead for the pound-for-pound great is a tough one. "I think it will be a fantastic fight," Khan told Sky Sports. "But if I were to give Manny advice, I wouldn't recommend a comeback. You should only come back to face someone who's already retired. Someone like me, for example, so that it's an even fight."
Beast, bro.
Yeah.
I used to spar with him, and I
But that's why I think people thought that's a dangerous fight for Canelo because of where you was.
For me, it was perfect because why? At that time was because I had just got beat by Prescott, and I went to America to train there to rebuild myself, and I needed somewhere to go, which is gonna make me train hard.
Did you feel you have to move away from the UK?
But when you look at a young fighter who's still active and in the ring, sometimes it can be dangerous, Khan explained. He was linked to a fight with Pacquiao for much of his career, though it never materialized. In April, the 38-year-old even told TalkSport that he would welcome a return to boxing to face Pac-Man if the opportunity arose. At the end of the day, he's been out of the ring for a long time. Does he still have the fire in his belly? Khan added. "I'm sure. Barrios is going to come in determined to win this fight because it could change his life."
Man,
Get rid of all the distractions.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then when I went there, you know the first thing Freddie did the first week? Because jump in the ring with Manny Pacquiao and spar with him.
What was that like? Talk us through some sparring stories with Manny Pacquiao.
It's the only spar you will ever see.
On YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the first ever spar we had. After that, no one ever recorded.
Barrios was crowned the WBC interim welterweight champion after defeating Yordenis Ugas in September 2023. Ugas was the last fighter to face Pacquiao, having outpointed the Filipino legend in August 2021. Since that bout, Barrios has fought 5 times and was promoted to full world champion last June when Terence Crawford vacated the title to move up to super welterweight and take on Canelo Alvarez. It's a fantastic fight for Mario. He needs that big opportunity, Khan concluded. He'll be well paid facing a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Who would say no to that?
I've got around about maybe 300 rounds of spar with Manny, and there were some days we did really well, some days we got the better of him, some days we got better of me, but it was a really competitive spar. What Freddie would what Freddie would say about it was like 2 cocks, you throw them up and they'll fight each other. That's what you two were like. Speed versus speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was an honor to be in the ring with
Mario deserves this fight because every boxer wants that big payday. It would be a fantastic opportunity for him. When Virgil Hunter and I were training together, I used to spar with Mario quite a lot. He's a very skilled boxer. I'm not sure how much Manny has left in the tank. If they were both in their prime, I'd say Manny Pacquiao all day. But this could be a tricky fight for Pacquiao, especially after such a long layoff. In boxing, you're always just one punch away from getting hurt. He doesn't need to come back, but sometimes you do miss the sport. Manny might miss the recognition and the love he used to get as a fighter. Still, I'm sure people will turn up to watch him. Pacquiao is widely regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time, being an 8-division world champion.
Talks about it for a long time that he wants to fight again, but I don't know, there's nothing really that materialized from it, you know what I mean? As long as if we can get like a Turkey or a Sheikh or someone to put the money down and persuade Manny to do this, then it'll happen. But other than that, I don't think it'll happen.
You've been talking. I know you've always wanted.
We know each other. We spoke about it, but it's about the investment. If someone's willing to put the investment down, and we've not really got anyone.
His last fight was a tough one, as he struggled against Japanese kickboxer Rukia Ampo in July 2024. After that difficult night, many fans urged him to hang up the gloves. The boxing community also expressed concern, hoping he would avoid any Unnecessary risk. Despite this, he has since been inducted into the World Boxing Council rankings following the announcement of his planned return to the sport.